You know what's great about having car friends? They have a lot of cool cars. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of At the Pump. This is Patrick, and today we're gonna go over and see two really good buddies of mine, Brian and Dan. Brian is actually a co-worker of mine that works over at our Audi North Scottsdale store. He's been there for I think like 15 years. These two guys might have had more cars than me, which is very hard to do, by the way, because I have had so many. And we're gonna go to their house. We're gonna check out their Audi collection. They got some really cool stuff, and I'm excited to bring you guys along. Catch you guys in a bit. But first, coffee.
Hi, what can I get for you?
Hi, can I get a grande iced coffee with 2 pumps of vanilla and soy milk?
Perfect, 320 around the corner.
Thank you. Great. Have a good day.
And here's the card for you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. I know what you guys are thinking. Soy milk? A grown-ass man orders soy milk. You know what? You gotta try it, okay? Gotta try it. You have arrived. All right, guys, we just made it over to Brian and Dan's house. Let's go check out some of their sweet cars. These guys are true Audi enthusiasts. They just picked up a new car. Oh, there it is. I see it. Guys, this is Brian.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Brian's a good buddy of mine. This is Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hi guys.
Guys, what we're going to be doing, this is a new track toy they just picked up. They drove it halfway across the country. They got a lot of cool cars. We're going to jump into it right now.
So guys, my name is Brian. I'm a Audi fanatic. I've been selling Audis for over 16 years. I work with Pat at the same complex at Penske. I've been there for over 15 and a half. I'm currently on Audi number 22. Working there for a long time. I just see a lot of cars come and go. I've leased them, I bought them. it's just a sickness. I've also, on top of that, have had 18 Volkswagens. That's where I got my start way back in like 1996 in high school. Started with a brand new 97 GTI VR6, and it's gone all the way to just about everything in between from there. So got into motorsports and racing with autocross, tons and tons of car shows all over the United States, and all of that is kind of combined into kind of our weird but very cool collection of Audis that we have now. So that's me. This is my husband Dan, the other part of the stable.
How are you guys? This is, the car we're standing in front of is a 2012 Audi TTRS in Suzuki Gray. The reason we ended up with this, last summer it was too hot to race the Corvette, so we have a 2000 Mark I TT that I took on the track and fell in love with it. It went exactly where I pointed it. It was just a riot to drive, more fun than you should possibly have. So I told Brian I want to race the TT. So we sold the Vet, we sold our S4, and we bought this, and we're currently in the process of building it into a track car.
So we've got this, the 2012 TTRS. That is going to be the race car. This, however, was actually going to be the race car when we decided we wanted to race a TT. This I came across actually from a customer of mine. It's a front wheel drive, 180 horsepower, 5-speed manual transmission. We thought we'd just run in a slower class, make it a momentum car. After sitting for about 4 months after buying it, just decided that's the car I was going to drive to work every day, especially after I sold my B5 S4. So I was one of the ones that probably made Pat get his.
100%. This guy is a bad influence, but a good influence. So he's the reason why I got my car, and I continue to learn a lot from this guy because I don't know much about the Audi world, but these guys sure do.
And then right behind that, it was our most recent purchase, but it's a 2005 Audi Allroad. We call it Dad Bod. Or Haas, one of the two names, but it's a stock car with just 17-inch BBS wheels, but also bought that from a customer of mine, kind of saved it from trade-in and going to auction, and it's been a wonderful car so far. So jumping back into this car, the reason why we sought this one out, it's already modified. KW Variant 2 coilovers, what was called a Loba big turbo kit from 034 Motorsports, actually originally designed by Audi Sport Customer Racing. 034 took that program over. This car was originally owned by a pro snowboarder, and he did a lot of the work to it, meticulous stuff, got a ton of suspension, sway bars, engine mounts, motor mounts, gyro disc front rotors, back brakes. It's just got a lot of cool stuff. AWE tuning switch path. Right from the start, this car, apparently the history that we found, the guy started modifying it right from the beginning and did a really, really good job. They say it's the only one with a GIAC software tune on it for that turbo, and it runs flawlessly. Drove 3,000 miles across the country from West Virginia to Arizona. They say on 91 octane it's about 400 wheel horsepower and about 410 torque, and on 100 octane 450 and 460. So 6-speed manual, all-wheel drive, and hopefully we can gut enough weight out of it to get it under 2,900 pounds, 2,800 pounds. So that's the goal.
This thing has to be an absolute monster.
Yeah, so far just driving it on the street, we have to resist because it doesn't have a plate on it. It's not going to be a registered car, but we've definitely had some fun racing a few cars and stuff with the Audi Club, and it's a really, really fun canyon carver. So we'll give you a quick tour. Factory wheels, they call the rotor wheels. We love those, but the car is called Suzuki Gray. I call it not white gray. When you really put it next to a white car, you can tell that it's not white. Factory carbon fiber mirrors, which were a very expensive option. As you'll see, these Recaro Sportster CS seats came with it. These will actually get removed eventually for a race seat and then get put in one of the other cars. Alcantara steering wheel. This is, I believe, an Oster designed carbon fiber rear wing that's just styled after the factory rear wing. MTM carbon fiber rear diffuser. We fabricated the little tow hook to go in there because it will be a race car, so need that. Carbon fiber gas cap, but like I said, it sits on KW Variant 2 coilovers. Absolute dream car in twisty roads and then for the highway as well. And like I said, under the hood it's got that bigger turbo and pushes about 400 horsepower. So.
All right, guys, this is the reason why I came here. We'll let Brian talk about it a little bit, but this is awesome.
So this is the baby. It's a 2009, obviously Audi R8. It is a V8. The V10s did not come out till 2010, but it is the gated 6-speed manual. I saw this car in 2003 at the Detroit Auto Show as a concept car. And the other two salespeople that I went there with when I was selling Audis in Ohio, we were in amazement. We never thought they'd make something like that. And I never thought I'd have one in my garage, but 13 years later, there it is. So this car, once in a lifetime type of thing. I never thought I'd have anything like this, but it came possible. 5 weeks after we bought it, we took it to the road course, absolutely beat the heck out of it for a day on the racetrack, and said, okay, it's too pretty to mess up anything. But we did 5 sessions that day, and we were like, holy crap, this thing is an absolute monster. It was a lot of fun to drive, but me being a show car guy, it just had to go that route. So the car was a one-owner car. Guy had it 7 years. I'm the second owner of it. I put about 18,000 miles on it. It's got 41,000 miles on it now. Whole car's been ceramic coated by Max at Eurocars Detail with IGL Kenzo. Whole front end's been clear bra, and there's a bunch of other spots of clear bra on it. And then just last year, the lava gray side blade. I didn't want to. There's no carbon on the car. I didn't want to do carbon blades or anything. So we just did that side blade in Expel Stealth. So it's a satin clear bra just to give a little bit of a visual difference. And then obviously the air suspension is the big thing. So if you've seen the background in some of the videos, I don't live in a normal neighborhood. I have a dirt driveway that's 70 yards long. There's a concrete wash that the car, being low, really couldn't get through easily without going super slow. So I've had other cars on air suspension. This one had to go on air suspension mainly because of the house, but the benefit is it absolutely looks badass while it's sitting there. Car is Phantom Black, stock color. There's not a crazy ton of options on the car. But I prefer it. It's all about driving. It's old technology. Funny thing is I have a 12-volt Bluetooth FM modulator to listen to phone music or iTunes and stuff like that. There's no new technology in it, but I enjoy that. It's actually kind of a raw feeling about the car. So like I said, Airlift Performance Air Suspension. I think it was the second or third one in the country. The 1552 wheels, so these are called their Formula GT. They don't make them anymore, so it makes them kind of special, but they're a 20 by 9 in the front and 20 by 11 in the rear. I've been a fan of 1552 since 1996 when they were called VW Sport back on the East Coast. I've known the owners forever and ever and ever. I'll always support them if I can. I've had multiple sets of their wheels. I just thought I wanted a racy style wheel.
Is this the hookup for the B5?
This is the hookup for the B5 when you want wheels. Yeah, I thought you were pointing at my
No,
shirt,
that's
so.
okay.
No, I will. I know just so many people in the industry, so I try to help people out when I can. So, but I had to have a set of their wheels, and they were making sets to fit this in a Lamborghini Gallardo, and I thought they'd be perfect without. I didn't need something too expensive. This does what I want. I wanted a kind of a motorsport style wheel, but the kind of this flat lip design. Is just something that was really unique when they came out. Nobody else was doing something like that with something that really attracted me. It is a cast wheel. It's not multi-piece, but I think it just fits the car, especially when it's slammed on the ground with air suspension. With the air suspension, obviously you've got shocks and airbags, but the stuff that runs it has to go someplace. And when you have a sports car like this with the engine in the middle, you don't have a trunk. So you have what is a useless trunk, and then you make it more useless by putting air suspension stuff in it. But the guys over at PartScore have done all the air ride installs. This was a labor of love for sure. This took quite a while, but it needed to be pretty, it needed to be symmetrical, and it needed to be removable because the battery is down underneath all that. So all this stuff had to come out. It's a 5-gallon air tank, 2 Viair compressors, and then the Airlift suspension brain that runs everything with hard lines. And the cool thing about this, so this system runs off both pressure and height sensors. So a lot of air suspension systems run off of pressure or height. This was the first system that the Airlift made that actually did both. So it can level out from weight, but also you can set it to adjust really, really quickly if you're on like a road course or something to try to even out the car as quick as possible. So it's a pretty trick system, but in a car like this, it makes it ride fairly smooth. But also can be low at the same time. So this was the deal, to have this car in a 6-speed manual transmission. When these cars came out new, I was selling them. so many of the people that bought them were older and ordered the automatic, the R-Tronic. It was cool technology for when it came out, but it was literally older people not wanting to deal with a clutch pedal. The automatic was $9,000 more than the manual transmission. That didn't seem to stop probably 70+% of the people ordering them in the automatic. So the manual transmissions are fairly rare. The prices, the used car prices on them are actually doing better than the automatics are, even though they were less expensive from there. But if you can hear, it's just the sound of it. It's almost not even worth having the radio on. It's that gated 6 that makes this car just an absolute fun to drive. It lives between 4,500 and just over 8,000 RPMs, and it's just such a sweet spot. Going through a curvy road, having it in 3rd or 4th gear, and just screaming, knowing that you have 8,300 RPMs worth of red line out of a naturally aspirated V8 just makes it just such a pleasure to drive. We're still going here. This is, believe it or not, this is the Rocket. This car, 2019 RS3 sedan, 5-cylinder turbo. It's actually the newer version of the engine that's in the TTRS, 2.5 liter 5-cylinder. But this new one is a full aluminum block. The old one was a steel block, so they dropped some weight off the front, new injection. This car stock is 400 horsepower and 365 torque. Quattro all-wheel drive for the Audi Sport RS models. It can do 100% to the rear wheels or 100% to the front if it wants to. For the normal Quattro, what they call the Haldex system, can't do that on the normal cars. So this car has been to the track, it's been to the drag strip, it's been on road rallies and just driven to work every day. But it's actually a leased car, so I can keep the mods to a minimum. Again, fully ceramic coated, full clear bra front end. The color is called Era Blue Crystal Effect. When it's in the sunlight, it's got this crazy sparkle to it. It's an option. It's a $1,000 option, I think, on the car, more than just normal metallic paint. The basic mods I have done, so it's PartScore did KWHAS spring kit, because this car has the magnetic ride suspension, so I don't want to remove the factory shocks and have a light. So this is just lowering springs from KW that are height adjustable. The wheels are 1552 whole shot RSRs. They are forged. It was their first ever forged wheel that they did. And just like on the R8, got to support that company. I've known them forever. 3 days into owning a car, I did a set of Miltech mid pipes on it. The weird thing is the US cars came with 2 sets of resonators. None of the rest of the world did. So you've got a much quieter RS car than any place else. So tons of companies make mid pipes. I actually bought them from a customer of mine that was selling them 3 days after I bought the car. And then I bit the bullet a few months ago. I did Unitronic Stage 1 software and Unitronic Stage 1 transmission software. 91 octane. This car, they say, is now 480 horsepower and right around 490 foot-pounds of torque. It is an absolute beast on the road, and I haven't ridden in many cars yet that are in this price point, in the $60,000 range, that will out-accelerate one of these in stock form, let alone with just a slight software tune. These are the 1552 whole shot RSRs. Like I said, first ever forged wheel by them. They're 19 by 8.5s all the way around. Oddly, the RS3s can come with a reverse staggered wheel setup, which this car actually did. They run a 255 tire in the front and 235 tire in the back, and that was to get rid of some of the inherent understeer with having the engine all the way up here instead of back here. Their Audi's thought was a little bit less grip in the rear, would make the end tail happy, but so many people with aftermarket wheels go to a square setup just to rotate tires evenly. These Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's are hands down the best tire I've ever experienced in my life. One of the neat things, again, 1552, the flat lip, just like on the R8, but this little motorsport thing, the ring that they do, you can get these in different colors. Obviously there's no center cap, but it's just to give it kind of like a race look. The ring colors are red, blue, or black. I went with the blue ones, but they actually say right front, right rear, left front, left rear, just as a tribute, kind of the motorsport heritage of the car. And then behind there, fully stock brakes. They are 8-piston front calipers, massive 2-piece floating rotors. Thing stops on a dime when you need it to and holds up on a racetrack fairly well. So all this talking about cars. Cars obviously, they look good sitting here. Apparently Pat's never ridden in an RS3 before. and I think it might be a good time to show him what 480 horsepower to 5-cylinder looks like versus his 6-cylinder with 2 turbos, more displacement in his S4.
Ain't gotta tell me twice. Let's go have some fun.
Let's go.
All right, so real quick drive to Mexico. And see. All right, we're gonna catch it. Holy shit. God, I'll even make your beard hair go backwards. God, I hope my wife doesn't watch this. There will be one of these cars in my garage soon, I swear. Oh my God, that's insane. Oh my God. Time to go home. Time to go home. Holy cow. That blue is so sick. I mean, it's not even light outside, but that color is so cool. Completely understand the punny part here. Yes. Man, this thing hits 30 miles an hour so quickly.
30 comes up in like the blink of an eye.
Oh, I'm running again. Oh, this is too much fun. Oh, that like hurts my chest. Like, it probably doesn't even come through on camera, but that like hurts my chest. Oh, Brian, sir, you are a maniac. All right, Brian, you got to choose one car out of your entire collection.
Oh God.
What are you going with?
I
Put you on the spot.
I got to choose the R8 just because of what it is, and I never thought I'd own anything like that. So definitely that car. Out of the 40 plus cars I've owned so far, I think this RS3 might be a pretty close second, just because of how fun it is to drive. But that R8, that hands down.
This thing's an animal. That was so much fun. Guys, thank you so much to Brian showing us into his little car collection here. He's got some really cool stuff. You know, this RS3 is wicked fast. Their new TTRS track cars is something to keep an eye out because that's a sweet little car. And of course, you can't forget about his baby. This car, I'm forever grateful that he has this, that I can actually even just be here to see it. And one day I'll have one of these cars. But Brian, thank you so much, man.
I gotta say thanks to Pat at the pump. Great videos, great content. Follow at Wicked Rhombus Racing. That is going to be our documenting this TTRS to become a full-blown track car. So starting out slow, I'm new to it as well, but we'll try to get some more content and some fancy stuff like these guys have.
For sure. I'll link their page and their YouTube channel in the description below. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in another episode.
Thank you very much.
Peace, guys. Thanks.